Alright, what is up guys? It's G5XD, aka whatever you want to call me here, and this right here is the third week of the deep dive activity, accessible through the helm. Basically, in case you're unaware, like most other seasonal activities, this one is going to progress as we continue forward weekly. So currently we only have one area unlocked, and soon, next week, we'll get the second one, and then the week after we'll get this one. So, as you can see, this is a really interesting area. You can see quite a bit. I'm not gonna, like, deep explore this area, but you can see what's around, and if you want to get here, I will show you guys how. But, let's just go ahead and load back into the activity, and we're gonna show you how to get into the second zone, which is actually really easy, believe it or not. Getting into the third zone is much more difficult, but we're just going to load into a private deep dives here, and then we're going to continue like normal until we get to a certain point. So yeah, let's just go ahead and get there. As stated, follow the path like normal. And then, once you get to a very specific area, which is right up ahead, we're either going to finish the activity or we're not going to start it. That way we have full unrestricted access to all around without having to worry about teammates or ads or any sort of objective. So come over to this area, use your heat rises ability or your class's equivalent, and kind of stand on this little ledge and then just crouch or slide in, and then you're gonna jump up and just come forward, and just like that we're out of bounds. Next up, we're going to fall down this way. You don't need to pop heat rises there, I just did. And then we are gonna need heat rises here. Come this way. Once here, it helps a lot if you line yourself up like this and then heat rise it or eager edge directly into this. You're gonna fall into this area. To avoid dying, immediately force yourself to this direction and then fall down into this little crack. Once here, there's a bubble right in front of you, and you can see we've made it to an area we're not supposed to be able to access yet. There's a collectible also here, so feel free to pick that up. I don't remember exactly where it is, but it's somewhere around here. You can see there's a big fan, and in case you aren't aware as to where we are, if you do the activity normally, you will take a portal to get to the boss. In this equivalent, or if we were to do this on the second week, we would be able to instead go directly through the door that is behind that portal and then fall down through that and then eventually follow this path. And the path is pretty straightforward. We follow the bubbles and just the somewhat obvious path, collecting anything on our way, obviously, because, you know, who doesn't want free bait? Continuing forward a little bit more, we make it to this door, which we can actually open for some reason. We're now back in a normal area where we can open another door. Now, this is the second week area, so this is what we'll unlock next week. And as you can see, I actually really prefer this zone to the other ones. This is a really cool area. It makes me feel like I'm in the middle of a city, and the idea of it being completely underwater and kind of hidden by methane is pretty cool to me. There's probably Easter eggs, like over here. I have never looked over here, but I'd be surprised if there wasn't. Nah, it's just a turn back. Yeah, pretty straightforward. That is how you get into the second zone. The third zone is not as direct, and in fact, quite a bit more difficult, but we're gonna go ahead and get straight into how to do that, so yeah. Going to orbit and back, we are going to go to the same area once again, except we're going to take a slightly different path this time. So, same place, come this way, fall down, and once again, going through this little pathway. Make sure to have 2 special weapons on, so you occasionally regenerate ammo, by the way. We're going to come around here, and we're going to Icarus dash this way, so that we get a lot of forward momentum. And you can see for some reason there's just a floating lamp there. I don't know why that's there, but we're going to fall down this way, onto this little corner, and we're going to set our respawn here. When we set a respawn here, we're just going to revive, and then we'll be out of the underwater zone, so letting this kill us is pretty easy. Once respawning, there's another way you can go over there. I'm not going to go over that in this video, but basically if you go over that way, there's a door. You can go straight in that door and reach a transition area. But for this sake, we're going to come straight down here and very slowly make our way to the right. It helps a lot, by the way, to have the grenade accelerant gift from Asha, or Asa, not sure exactly what the name is. You know what I'm talking about, though, because it gives you an option for one of 2 gifts, and one of them can be the grenade gift, which is extremely helpful. So, once we hit this area, you'll see that we're in the abyssopelagic abyss. Come down to this area, and we are going to let this kill us. We actually don't need to let this kill us. We're just letting it kill us because we need to continue forward, and it's a bit of a pain if you have the water, like the underwater debuff still. Next up, what we're going to need to do is find a very specific point. The point's right over here by this sort of fallen door. And then Poppy rises. You don't have to, but it's a little bit easier if you mountaintop jump up. And now we're in this big dome. So, come to the left here. And continue forward and around like this. If you die, that's fine. Just go a little bit higher up. So, what we're going to do this time is go straight up. And we're going to reach a water zone. That's fine, though. That was our goal. We're going to jump up. And then through this little water zone. Gets rid of our water. And then, after we get thrown down, we're just going to continue to the left. Not dying, like I did. Ignore that I just threw my own fusion grenade. Following this path, round to the left, and now that we're here, we're going to continue until we find a spot that we're able to fall down. Right here. And then, we're going to get inside of the second dome. We can do that by coming right up here. Now, we're pretty close to where we need to be. Just continue climbing. Going up and climbing and going up until you get to the point that's pretty close to where we are, actually. It's going to be right up here, as you can see. You're going to want to continue this way, actually, not that way. And then jump up, slide through, and you will hit this special turn back zone. Run back into this little cave, and you can actually see the 3rd week's zone directly in front of us, but it's a bit of a pain to get to. You're going to run down, you're going to run up that way, back down, and then up that way again, and you'll make it out. So I'm probably going to fail this first attempt. Yeah. If you fail and it doesn't let you through immediately, you're going to have to run all the way back because you don't want to die to the turn back, but there we go. Made it through. Continue running straight forward, and you'll get thrown down into the 3rd week's zone. And just like that, that is both the 2nd and the 3rd week's area kind of prematurely visited. So yeah, give this place a visit. I'm not going to go over exactly what's in here. I'll leave, I don't know, Error, Esoteric, or someone to that video. Yeah, that's it.